Hello, everybody. My name is Kathy McReynolds. I am your fun, money, and skill coach. I work with affiliate marketers, network marketers, and entrepreneurs. My goal is to help you build your brand and your bank account so that you can have the lifestyle and the business that you truly desire to have. So welcome, welcome, welcome. We are on day 15 of day 21 of our How to Grow Your Business Online Master Summit class. So I hope you guys have been getting a lot out of this over the last 15 days, well, I should say 14 days, and we're excited to get it going tonight. So tonight, we're gonna talk about branding yourself with your stories and telling stories so that you can help get people to give you information about them so that when we start going on and working on the funnels, you'll know exactly what we're talking about. And we're not talking about those funnels that are in, at the, what do you call it, the circus, right? They're different kind of funnels. So we're going to go ahead and get started. If you got a pen and paper, you want to write it down, because today I'm just going to talk to you. And I'm going to start with my story. And as I share my story with you, how I got on this entrepreneurship journey, I want you to start thinking about your story. Start thinking about what story, because your story never changes, right? Because what you're telling is what actually happened. So the facts never change. It's just the excitement and you getting used to the story. That's how it gets better over time. So my story starts from when I was about 19 years of age, and I decided that I was going to drop out of college. I think I was a junior or something like that. I don't know, but had about a year and a half to go. And I wanted to get out of the area that I was located in and actually go do something. Because to me, if I stayed where I was at, it was like, a gloom. There was nothing that was going to happen positive. So I decided to move 6 hours away from home, had never been away from home. I was that child who slept with my parents until child was like 12 or 13 years old. It's pretty sad, but it's true. So, as I tell you guys, I grew up sheltered and shy and just hanging around my family. So I'll never forget the day when I was about to drive that journey, go on that journey. My sister took me down there. And so my dad had a conversation with me on the front porch. That's why I love the front porch. It brings back great memories. And so I remember him like with this little tear coming down his eyes. I think I only saw my dad cry twice in life, and that was when he lost his father. And also when his baby girl, his favorite of all 6 of his children. That's my story, and I'm sticking with it. So I always tell them that I was his favorite child, and he's not here to dispute that right now. So we're going to stick with that story. But I'll never forget what he said to me. He said, "Baby, I want you to go and I want you to enjoy life." He said, "I spent the last 40 years of my life working for a company, and I don't want you to do that. I want you to figure out a way to either start your own business or get into politics." And I knew politics definitely wasn't my thing. And at that time, I didn't know business was my thing at all at that particular time. But I remember him saying, "The world is big. I want you to go out there," and he said, "Take risks. I want you to take risks, and I want you to figure out a way to get into business for yourself, or figure out a way, to get into politics, but always know that even though I didn't give," this is what he was saying to me, "even though I didn't give my life what I felt that I should have gave it and worked as hard as I could," he said, "one of the things that I've done was I've managed to pay for a house, raise you 6 kids. So go take risks, because you will always have a home to come back to. You don't ever have to worry about being without a place, and you don't ever have to worry about failing and not having a safe place to come back to." He said, "Because you will fail. Things won't go the way you always want them to go." He said, "But I want you to have that security to know that you can take risks, and we will always be here for you." And so that set up in my mind the possibilities. And so when I moved to the DC area, you know, in my mind, I'm like, okay, yeah, I get the entrepreneurship, but in my mind, it was all about building, you know, building someone else's company. It was about being in corporate America. So I did that. I had a good career in corporate America for about the first 7 to 10 years. And it wasn't until I went up for a promotion at another company, and they wanted to promote me. They had given me, you know, I was one of the, well, actually at that time, I was the only person who got an exceptional review, and they gave me a huge raise to take me from $40,000 a year to $60,000 a year. But what I desired to do was to get into the buying field. I was in the stores. So in order for you to get there, you had to have a degree, and you also had to pass this test, this mental mind, I don't know what the crap they call it, but those personalities tests. And because I'm like very transparent and I answer things the way I really feel, I didn't answer them the way that they needed them to be answered. So I didn't get the promotion. And when I didn't get the promotion, I don't even think that it didn't make me mad, but it made me sad that because of the fact that I didn't have a piece of paper, that they weren't going to give me what I know and they knew I deserved. Because I'll never forget the owner of the store, Hank Hammerstein, saying we need to change that rule. But right now, because it's not a rule, because with this company, they have moved me around to 5 different areas, you know, 4 states. And I actually helped set up all their stores. They had me on CNN. I was on the Today Show for that area, and just doing a lot to get that company where it needed to be. And they had rules. And so in the meantime, someone had came to me and had started talking to me about a multi-level marketing business, which I didn't know it was at that time. And because I felt stagnant, I'm like, I'm going to go and I'm going to see what it was about. And it was happened to be on a Monday as well. So I went that Monday and I listened to them. And at this time, my dad had passed away. And I remember, you know, that the insurance people had completely did him wrong, and they didn't do what was right by him. So this meeting began to educate me on finances and money and how it worked. And at that time, I'm like, man, if you rip my dad off, my most favorite person in the world, I'm going to stop you from ripping anyone else off. So I began to work for that company part-time. And about 3.5 months in, I got a new supervisor. So mind you, for the last 5 years, I had received excellent reviews, top raises, and they hired this girl who was like in her 20s, and I think I'm 32 at this point. They hired her to do the job because she had a degree that they wouldn't hire me for. And I remember she gave me a review, and it was a bad review. And I had never in my life gotten a bad review. Now, okay, so I do, you know, sometimes I'm crazy, right? We all do crazy things, but I'll never forget when she gave me the review. First of all, I'm looking at her in shock, like, what? Like, what are you doing? And she wanted things to be done the way that they did them in school. Well, we were running the top stores. We were in Boston at that time. No, actually, I was in Pittsburgh. And I'm like, but that's not how things are done. So when she gave me the review, I just looked at it and I said, you know what? This is what I think of this review. So here's the paper. And I actually took her review and I did like this, and I did like that, and I did like this. I know that was wrong. Okay, it's probably immature, but I did it. I ripped up the review and I gave it to her. And I said, this is what I think of your review. And she's like, oh, I can't believe you did that. I'm going to tell the owners on you and the personnel. I'm like, I don't care. Tell whoever you want to tell. And so she did. And to my credit, the owner said to her, the only reason she doesn't have that position is because we have this dumb policy. And this policy is preventing her from having that. So instead of you coming in and trying to tell her what to do, even though you are her supervisor, you can learn. And at that point, I realized that I am psychologically unemployable. I don't need to work for anyone because I should be working for myself. And after 4 months of working in a business that I knew nothing about, I left my job, $60,000 a year salary, and I started my own business. And they thought, my family thought I had lost my mind. You're leaving that good job. You're leaving those great benefits. But I knew, and I heard my dad's voice saying to me, you were meant to do something great. Go out there and take risks. Go out there and do the things, you know, create your own business, create your own life. So that year, I did it. And it's been 20 years with the exception of 1 year in 2008 when everything crashed. That's when, you know, I've been working for myself ever since then. Good years, bad years. But guess what? I still have that mindset that I can always go back home to my mom and dad's house if I need to, because it's there. But I'm not, right? I'm not going to do that. So that's what got me started on my journey. And I don't know what it is for you. I don't know what's inside of you that's going to make you want to do something different, to take that plunge, to know that you have greatness in you, that you're able to start your own business, whether you start it part-time like I did or full-time. But I know somebody out there can relate to someone not appreciating them for the work that they do on their job, for putting in hours upon hours upon hours only to get a 1 to 3% raise, missing your holidays, your birthdays, your Christmas, and your family time because an employer tells you you have to be somewhere at a certain time. I know that there's a supervisor out there for someone who didn't appreciate them, and you wanted to do something. Just don't rip up reviews. I mean, you can. Who cares? Rip them up. See, rip them up. You can do whatever you decide to do. But I know that there's somebody out there who can relate to what I'm talking about. And if you have that feeling inside of you that you want to do something for yourself and change your life, you can. And if you want to do that online, it starts with building your brand and doing the things that you need to do. Can you hand me some tissue? my nose is starting to run here. It's hot or something in here. My niece is over here. Like, I'm on them on the broadcast. Like, hey, can you, that's being authentic, right? Yeah, we're recording this, okay? But I can't like have stuff just hanging out my nose on the broadcast. But so what is your story? What is it gonna take for you to brand yourself in your business, whether it's online or offline? But I'm going to give you a few tips that you can use to make that happen. Number one, you want to choose the right networks. What networks, and when I say the right networks, is it Facebook? Is it social? Is it YouTube? What is it that you're going to use? Excuse me, guys. Be who you are without apology. Is it Facebook? Is it Instagram? What medium are you going to use to grow your business? Because I would start with one or two of them and then go to the other one. So pick one and make that decision. This is where I'm going to grow. Facebook is a good one. Facebook Lives. People know who you are. You guys are tuning in here and watching this crazy girl, right? Tell you this crazy story why she wiped her nose on, you know, national Facebook Live, right? Whatever you want to call it. So pick one. Number two, don't overlook the visuals. You want to get, and I'll show you before this is all over, you know, before these 21 days are over, you want to use different, like I use Pick Collage and I use Spark Post to create my images. So you want to be able to use certain platforms. And I know there's Canva out there. There's so many different ones that you can use. Those are the two that I found, you know, best for me. And when I first started, they were a hot mess. So don't expect perfection when you get started. Just get started. So don't overlook branding. Look at what you put on your page. And I know we talked about this before, but I was talking to someone and I asked them what was their favorite TV channel, and they said sci-fi. So I said, imagine if you go on sci-fi and all of a sudden they're playing a romantic comedy. You're gonna be like, what are they doing? So when you're looking at your Facebook feed, make sure it's consistent with who you want your brand to be. I am the fun, money, and skill coach. So you're going to always see something funny or crazy about me or my life. You're going to see me traveling and doing those things. I'm going to teach you about money because that's been my career for the last 20 years. Hey, Ben. And also, I'm going to teach you skill set and fundamentals, because I think that in order to win in life, in order to get where you need to be, you don't have to come in with the knowledge. You just have to be willing to learn and grow. And anybody who will put in mat time and what I call that, or game time, or show up early, 4 o'clock in the morning, you know, like the star, like, you know, what's his name, LeBron and Michael Jordan and everyone else did to get to that next level, the Tiger Woods, they put in more hours than anyone else. So those are things that you need to do in order to make things happen. What's up, Miss Sheila? Number 3 is develop your voice. Okay, so when I first did my very first live, guys, before I hit the live button, I was upstairs at my home and I did a YouTube, you know, well, I recorded it, right, on my camera, and I did about 20 takes, and I just said, you know what, screw it. People are going to talk about you anyway, so I don't care what people say. I'm just going to get it done. And I know that as long as you keep putting in effort, you get better. I stumble over my words. You know, like, listen now. It don't matter, because I'm in action. And a person who is in action and they're consistent, which is number 4, they will win. And so as long as you're consistent and you take action and you don't give a rat's butt what other people think about you, you will win. And that comes with the self-development. That comes with believing in who you are and having a strong system around you where you know that it's a safe haven. We have our fun and freedom movement. It's a safe haven for people to be in. You should have, you know, members of your family. It's a safe haven. You should have places and mentors and coaches where you can go and you know they're not judging you. They're just helping you. And when you feel that, that's the same feeling that I felt for my dad. Like I was invincible. I knew that I can go out and do anything in this world that I wanted to, because he always encouraged me. So that's why I want to be an encourager of other people and let them know, because there's so many people in this world that want to pick out everything that you do wrong. And when they do that, it gets in your feelings and you're like, well, I don't want to do this. They're going to talk about you anyway. So get it done, right? Make it happen. Number 5, post regularly. You should post on your page about 3 to 5 times a day, 3 to 5 times a day, and spread it out. And the reason is, it's just like a commercial. When you're doing a commercial, when you're watching TV, the same commercials pop up. You see the exact same things over and over again. So you want to make sure that you're posting regularly so people get to know who you are. They see if you're authentic. They see if you're crazy, if you're likable. If people like you and trust you, eventually they will buy from you. Sometimes, you know, if it's something they want that's of more value, they don't even care, but it really helps if you have that likability factor. Number 6, connect with other influencers. You want to find other people who are winning at the level that you desire to win at, and you want to connect with them. You want to get them to see how you can help them grow their business, increase their income, and contribute to their platform. Because when you're contributing to their platform, it's going to help them grow. They're going to notice it, and then they're going to want to turn around and help you grow. So are you sharing their broadcast? Are you answering questions when they don't have time to answer those questions when people post them in the groups? Are you giving more than you're receiving? That's the key. Are you giving more than you're receiving? And then number 7, your profile and your bio on Facebook or anything that you're on, is it clear? Does people know who you are? Do they know what you represent? Do they have an idea when they go to your bio? Will it give them a description to say, oh, I was just looking for that and I want more? I want to know more. So guys, I hope that brought you value. If you're on here and you have questions about branding and getting yourself out there of what we talked about today, let me know. I'm looking at the comments now so I can answer any questions that you have. And the reason why I wanted to go in this today is because tomorrow I'm going to get into the technical side of it. I'm going to actually get on and show you one of the funnels that we use so that you can put your information and your story in so that people can then give you some information so that they can get some information. But just like you, if someone's asking you for something, what's the first thing you do? You go check out their profile. You go check out their page. So if their page is full of crap and all this negative stuff, you don't want to do business with them. So go check here's your homework for tonight. Go check your page, go check your bios, any place you on social media. Now, I wouldn't go back, years and try to delete everything. But starting today, and I would probably even go back like a week or two, make sure that your profile is representing who you want to become or who you are. Because if not, then change it. You get a chance to change it, because just like you check out other people's profiles, they're going to check out yours. So are there any questions? Any questions? Any questions? All right, let me see what we have here. I think I already said, but I'm going to go down. Hey, Kenny. Hey, Bonnie. What's up, Tanya? Kenny always called me Big C because I'm always trying to rap. Biggie C. I like that nickname. What's happening, Charles? And we got Ben and Sheila. How are you guys? Thanks for saying hello. So guys, if there's not any questions, tomorrow, 7:30, I will do a live demonstration on how and what a funnel is. And when I heard that, I immediately thought about the circus, but it's not that kind of funnel, but it's good and it can change your life. All right, guys, if there's no questions, I'm going to go ahead and head out of here. Again, my name is Kathy McReynolds. I'm your fun, money, and skill coach, and I'm going to help you build your brand and your bank account so you can go have some fun and change some lives. I will chat with you later, and good evening. See you later.